Hello, friends. On the 12th of July, my family and I visited Sywell Aerodrome, not far from Northampton. There is also a small aviation museum right next to the airfield. It was a beautiful, hot, and sunny day. The only problem was the wind. It was so strong that at some moments I wasn't sure whether I was filming the aeroplanes or preparing for takeoff myself. I decided to make this short video and share a few impressions from our visit. We also went inside the Aviation Museum, but I'm not going to include that part in this particular video. Otherwise, my short video could easily turn into a 3-part documentary series. The first thing you notice near the museum is the British and American flags. Together with the old aircraft in the background, they immediately create the atmosphere of a Second World War film. Outside the museum, there are several large preserved aircraft. One of them is a Hawker Hunter and another one is a Handley Page Jetstream. At first I thought they might be replicas or large models, but no, these are real aircraft that have been preserved as museum exhibits. They may no longer fly, but they still look as though they are ready to start their engines and disappear down the runway. We stayed at the airfield for only about an hour, but during that short time several historic military aircraft arrived. I'm not going to pretend that I know the exact name and model of every aircraft here. My aviation knowledge is currently somewhere between that one has wings and that one looks very expensive. So, aviation experts, please help me out. Have a look at these aircraft and tell me their names in the comments. Some of them appeared to be fighters from the Second World War period. Seeing them in photographs is one thing, but watching them taxi right in front of you, hearing their engines and seeing the propellers turning is a completely different experience. They look powerful, elegant, and slightly terrifying, which is probably exactly what a fighter aircraft is supposed to look like. One particularly nice moment was when a woman climbed out of one of the historic aircraft, a female pilot flying a classic Warbird. Now that is seriously impressive. Meanwhile, I sometimes need 3 attempts just to park properly at the supermarket. During our visit, several modern light aircraft also took off and landed. There were a few smaller private planes parked around the airfield, and we also spotted this little blue helicopter. I have no idea what model it is, but it looked very cool. Small, neat, and probably more expensive than my house. There was also a large green transport aircraft standing on the grass, decorated with American markings and invasion stripes. It looked like something that had flown directly out of a historical film and accidentally landed in Northamptonshire. Near the control tower, we noticed this bright red emergency vehicle with the words Fire 4 written on the side. It looked very American, like an old Dodge pickup from a film. You do not normally see vehicles like this on British roads. It looked ready to respond to an emergency, or possibly chase a tornado through Oklahoma. And just before we left, another interesting machine arrived in the car park. Not an aircraft this time, but this incredible little scooter. It looked like a miniature Harley Davidson that had visited an accessories shop and said, "Yes, I'll take everything." Extra lights, mirrors, chrome, flags, decorations. This scooter had more equipment than some full-sized cars. I had already returned to our car, but when I saw it, I had to get back out and film it. You simply cannot ignore a machine with this much personality. Overall, our visit to Sywell Aerodrome was short, but very interesting. We saw historic aircraft, modern light planes, a helicopter, a female warbird pilot, an American-style fire truck, and possibly the most decorated scooter in Northamptonshire. Not bad for 1 hour. Thanks for watching. And once again, aviation experts, please write in the comments and tell me exactly which historic aircraft appear in this video. See you next time.